Greetings and salutations, humans of Earth. This is Red Wild Rider here on a Friday afternoon with a bag with items in it, special items, items that might be opened, items that will be opened. What could it possibly be today? That it's the day of the Theros Beyond Death pre-release. Oh, could it be boxes, as in multiples, of ye old Theros Beyond Death? Oh yes it is. So I randomly decided to go live today because, the hell, right? Let's do it. I don't have a lot of time this weekend between the pre-releases on tonight and tomorrow and my work schedule to really plan out and find a good time to do this where I would have people watching. So I just decided to drop it and not announce it and just let it go. And I'll do it live and just put it out there. And that's that. So today, I was thinking of actually doing something a little different in terms of the conversation that I'm going to have. Aside from a couple of things I'm going to talk about early on, I do want to kind of talk about some other issues uh, in in life, because magic is wonderful and everything, but magic's not the only thing in the world. There's a lot of other things going on. There's a lot of things that affect magic as well. That come in from the outside that have nothing to do with boxes of cards or decisions that Mark Rosewater makes or anybody else in R&D or play design or whatever. Like, how did Oko get printed? Who cares? There's so many other things going on, and some of them do affect us as not only players but as people. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I do kind of want to have a talk about it. So what I'm going to do is let's start by opening one of these two packs. I'm aware that these packs were supposed to have the foil basic lands, but they don't. I'm getting those packs today, but I can't wait to put these on camera for the first time. So we're going to do it, and it's going to be that. And there is our box promo, Aetherios Shroudveiled. Of course, Aetherios is good. He's going to be played, and it's a very beautiful art, very beautiful card. Yeah, putting coin counters on creatures, I think it's hilarious, and especially that all these coin tossing jokes now because of The Witcher, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm really not much of a television person. But yeah, Aetherios Shroudveiled. There's our box promo, and one land only in each pack, and mine happen to be a forest, but unfortunately not shiny forest. I'm not going to open the other pack. Obviously, it's going to be another Aetherios and another one of the basic lands. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of the basic lands in the two boxes. So I want to just get to those. Now, one thing I want to point out about the packs is I have not seen a single pack of Theros Beyond Death opened. So I'm not sure what cards are alternate art yet. Because I haven't really looked at that either. I'm actually not sure about a lot of things. So this is going to be a fun experiment for everybody. I'm going to open these two boxes. I'm probably going to open another box or two at some point in the future, but I'm not really sure when. There's been a lot of things going on in my personal world that they require my attention a little bit more, unfortunately, right now than my YouTube channel. But I'm here today, so I'm doing. Things got shuffled around at the bottom over here. Let's see. All right. Oh. Oh, whoa. Okay, I see what happened. Whatever. Okay. It does not matter in which order we open the packs, as long as the packs have been opened. No, over here. Okay. Anyway, so like I said, I really don't know where things are. So at least for the first couple of packs, I'm going to kind of slow roll through the cards just to take a look to see if I spot anything that I need to be alerted to. And oh, look, I think we have I think this is the Japanese pack style. So we have the token in front. So we have the gold token, which is now an official real deal Magic thing that we can just refer to on cards. just as a gold token without announcing anything. So it's pretty cool that they did that finally. They did. I think they did it with food also. So there's a few other tokens. I'm sure they'll do it too as well. So there's our first basic land. It's a swamp. And I love all these arts. I mean, they're so beautiful, and really, like, they should do this more often. They can do it with different themes for different worlds and things like that. But I kind of like the style of this, even if they don't do it exactly the same, they do some other fashion to sort of get the mana symbol into the art, so that you can just full art the art all the time. Like Zendikar full art lands are nice and everything, and yeah, I get that they're prestige, but this is how the lands should be all the time. Lands should look big and beautiful. They don't really, a basic land does nothing else in this game. At least make it beautiful. And fine, and not to diss the arts of basic lands. There are arts of basic lands that absolutely fascinate me, and I love them. But now that we have seen all these other things that we've done with the borderless lands in unstable, and all sorts of other things, let's just move forward like this. You know what I'm saying? Full art basics all the time. That's what it should be. What's behind the full art basic? It's our first mythic, and it's Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. And I kind of am not a huge fan of discard decks in Commander. I mostly play Commander, so I'm going to pretty much talk about that because I really don't play any other formats. I'll play them if people want me to, but I prefer Commander. But the reason why I don't like discard decks is because very often people are so into hand manipulation they could just dodge all your discard stuff if they know it's coming. So if you build a deck around discard, it's kind of difficult. But yeah, Kroxa, not bad. I hope he's worth something. I haven't really looked at any of the prices, so I'm not sure what to say about that. But I'm kind of looking at card numbers right now as I go through these things, more so than the names. So I'm trying to see if they're what the alternates are or anything like that. But I don't. I'm not expecting to get any, to be honest. Well, at least not here. So try to put the comments out of that is not going to be out of the way when that pile gets huge. Yeah, put that maybe there. That's pretty out of the way. Okay. Anyway, so I've seen the whole set and I like it, and that is an amazing. I did not see the Go token, and that's amazing. That is very nice art. I really really like it's suitably over the top and silly. I appreciate it. There's our mountain again, beautiful. I'm not gonna keep saying how beautiful these lands are. They just are beautiful. Our first foil is Hero of the Winds, one of our heroic cards that doesn't have heroic. Haha. Pretty good. What's behind Hero of the Winds? It is a tectonic giant. Whenever it attacks or becomes a target of a spell or ability, I get to choose one to deal 3 damage to each opponent or exile top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. I would play this in Commander. I would always choose deal 3 damage to each opponent. I don't think there's any reason to ever choose the other one. If you're playing a red deck, you're dealing 3 damage to each opponent. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we have blah, blah, blah. I'm really curious what these alternate arts are supposed to be. I really probably should have looked it up, to be honest with you. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, dumbass, why didn't you do that before? Actually, you know something? I'm going to do something right now while I'm grabbing the next pack. I'm going to open my phone and flip over to one of my apps that has, no, those are the promos. So what's the deal with card number and how far down do we have to go? Doesn't really seem like there's a lot, actually. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything special. Okay, so I'm like looking for nothing. I thought we were going to get another something like we did in Eldraine because we were getting these collector's packs. But apparently these collector's packs are going to be something completely different, or we're just not getting any of the alternate art anythings, and that's that. I don't really know what's going on. A quite adorable human soldier right there. Our island. And Shot of the Sky. A very interesting kill spell, actually. And I mean, I guess it's kind of playable in Commander. I mean, I would probably play it at some point. But it seems like it's going to be drawing your opponent's cards, and drawing your opponent's cards generally is not what you want to be doing, but, whatever. Okay, so skipping through here, and yeah, we don't need to really look at anything else. The uncommons in this set, I mean, they're okay. And there were some interesting reprints, and there's some other interesting cards, but I'm not. I am really trying to. I'm really going to go a little fast with this video. Once I stop talking about a couple of things with the set and seeing all the tokens and a couple of the first rares and mythics and things like that, I do want to have. I do want to say a few things. So there's our Satyr token, our Swamp, and our second mythic. And what are we, like 4 packs in right now? Purphoros, Bronze Blooded. Hey, our first god. He's pretty good. He's sneak attack on an indestructible god that can actually swing and gives all your other creatures haste. Anyway, I mean, so many ridiculous things Purphoros does. So we've seen Purphoros twice, and he's been ridiculous twice. Surprise, surprise. I mean, well, he's a god after all, right? Right. Okay. So that's our second mythic. And yeah, so like I said, just ripping through packs. And in a couple of packs I'll get to my point. Okay, but Zombie of Plains, I think I would like to point out that I have managed Enigmatic Incarnation, by the way, which I guess in Commander you could kind of make this work, but I really wish that it would like I feel like I'd have to play Bant enchantments to play this, and because you really want to be playing white when you're playing a deck based around enchantments. I'd like to point out that I have opened 5 packs. Oh no, I got 2 swamps. I didn't get a forest. Oh wow, I didn't catch that. Never mind. Never mind. I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking about that. I'll start talking about something else. Oh boy. This is going to be a day, isn't it? So yeah, so one of the things that I've been thinking, there's the forest in 6 packs, and Temple of Abandon, which I don't really need, but hey, nice new art actually. Oh, here we go. Here's our alternate arts. Now I know what we're looking out for. I'm glad I did not move quickly through this pack yet, because I was just going to dump these cards down and that's it. I wonder if we're going to get these in the commons also, or if this is going to be another one of those things like in Throne, where they didn't put them in the commons, even though they printed commons like that. So I'm going to put these actually separate because I do like those cards and I prefer to have those over the other ones. Maybe they just didn't do commons this time. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to have to look through a giant pile of commons later to sort of figure that out. So anyway, my camera's going really crazy with the focus. I just noticed that because I just looked over, and I'm going to try to back up a little bit, see if maybe that helps. Maybe try to back this up too. That's not going to work. Not with everything on it. Anyway, so yeah, the thing I really wanted to talk about today, and these are the packs you can rip this way. So I'm going to try to remember to do that. Is the idea of behavior and the way we treat each other, because I find that the way we treat each other has changed a lot over the course of my lifetime. I mean, I'm not going to say exactly how old I am, but let's say I'm old enough to have been hit across the head as a young adult with a rotary phone. One of my friends was hit across the head with the rotary phone. I was being across the head with other things at that time, but we were getting jumped, and it was weird situation. But anyway, life growing up in the big city, ladies and gentlemen. See, I didn't remember to do the pack rip this time. But yeah, we tend to treat each other like crap. And nowadays it's becoming more and more prevalent, and I kind of feel like a lot of it is I mean, it's our own fault. Let's start there. Uh, we're responsible for our own behavior as individuals. Okay, but we also are being influenced by our technology, and we're using our technology in ways that is I don't want to say, oh my god, a foil alternate art and very beautiful, very Daxos, and very happy. I like that. It's very nice. What do we got behind it? A Temple of Malice, very cool. So uh, we behave in very odd ways towards each other. We used to, because we used to have to face each other in public to see each other all the time and to communicate with each other. We for a long time learned that yeah, you can't. There's certain things you shouldn't say to people. You can't treat people with disrespect because I don't know about the street you grew up on, but I know the street I grew up on. The street I grew up on, somebody disrespected you and you didn't punch them in the face. You know what was going to happen? They were going to disrespect you again, and they were going to keep disrespecting you, and it wasn't going to end until you punched them in the face. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way myself growing up. You know, but now, ooh, better be careful here. But now the thing is, we could all hide behind our computers. We could all hide behind our phones. We never have to see each other anymore. We could talk to each other all the time. And there's our reflection token, which is kind of funny. I was hoping it would kind of be the other way around, but that's okay. Actually, maybe you don't know which way is which. I guess that's fair. I guess we have to look at the art of the actual card. There's our rare foil, which is Enigmatic Incarnation, which I just shat on a few minutes ago. No, it'll probably be all right. Like I'm sure some people will play it. I'm sure I might play it at some point. But yeah, but like I'm saying, and I deal with Tudor, which I'm actually super excited that they reprinted because I have four foils from way back when they were originally printed in Morningtide, and I would love to be able to break those out once in a while, and just be like, hey, look at these fancy expensive cards I was able to pick up for really cheap because nobody cared about Idyllic Tutor for such a long time. But I love this artwork though; it's so very cool. It is so very cool. Very well done, Jaime Jones. So we can disrespect people from the comfort of our homes, and it's funny. I'll tell a story here from my own life. I was a very early adopter of Facebook. I was probably the first of my friends to be on Facebook. Um, because I've always been sort of a technology guy. I've always been sort of up on things. And I've had, I know a lot of people who I've played Magic with over the years have also been up on their tech. So I was always able to be friends with them on those services, if not, my actual friends. But it's funny because after I joined Facebook, our third mythic already in the first 12 packs. The rest of this box might be kind of light, but we have Pelucranos Unchained, the Zombie Hydra, who is absolutely immediately getting slotted in to my Atraxa deck somewhere along the line. That is going to be a thing. So anyway, when I joined Facebook, like a lot of my friends, were like, oh, this is stupid, whatever, and I was like, no, it's fun. You post shit. You have a good time. I was doing a political radio show at the time on an internet radio station, so I was posting a lot of political stories, and I ended up talking about a lot of politics and stuff like that because of it. So what ends up happening is after a little while, after maybe about like 6-7 months, my best friend at the time also joins Facebook. Now, she had never really been very much into politics, but she had married a guy just recently at that point who was a hardcore libertarian, and she kind of fell into that role with him. So a second foil rare, and this box so far has been absolutely bonkers. Our second foil rare, Treacherous Blessing. This is a pretty interesting card. I would love to find a way to play with this just to mess with people. Pretty cool. So we got our second foil rare and our fourth mythic and second god, Nylea Keen-Eyed. Like, maybe this is the fates telling me I shouldn't have this conversation, but I don't care. I'm going to do it because I want to keep opening amazing cards. It's pretty good, and Nylea is really one of the better gods, probably if not the best. Making my creature spells cost less, being able to draw cards or put them into my graveyard based on whether or not they're creature cards seems pretty good. I would be very happy playing her in a lot of my mono green decks already. So anyway, so she comes on Facebook, and in real life, we never really talked about politics, and if we did, she just kind of never said much to me about it, you know. But online, all of a sudden, I'm a moron. I'm stupid. I need to have my brain checked and all this other stuff. And I was like, where is all this stuff coming from? Because she's been my best friend for 15 years, and now all of a sudden she's treating me like I'm a moron. Like she knows who I am as a person. I called this woman my sister, and she wasn't actually my sister, and she basically turned on me to the point where I could no longer be friends with her. And our friendship was destroyed, and it's just stunning that was happening then. But you want to know something? It's still happening now. It's still happening now. We're still doing it, and in fact, we're doing it worse. Because now we don't just call each other names over politics. We call each other names over so much stuff. And not for nothing, there's people I know for like 25 or 30 years, but they talk to me online the same way they would talk to somebody who they didn't know for 25 or 30 years. They behave towards me that way. But when things happen, they're like, oh, call me if you need me, or come and see me when you need me. But come and see me is drive 2.5 hours. Nobody picks up a phone and calls anybody anymore. I recently suffered a number of tragedies in my life, back to back to back, and they all sort of chained into one another. And the silence I heard from other people, I would post about something on Facebook, and I would, just because, I don't want to tell the same story 500,000 times, especially when it's a painful story for me to have to tell. And then, people who you've known for years, how do they respond to you? They respond to you on Facebook. They don't call you to check on you to see if you're all right. When my friends have birthdays, I at least personally text them. I don't like my close personal friends. I would call them on their birthday, or I would at least text them like, hey, happy birthday, can I call you? I don't just post on their Facebook wall and go away. In fact, usually I don't post on their Facebook walls at all. Normally I would just call them. People don't do this anymore. And when it really started to hit me was on Christmas Day. So I was speaking with a close friend of mine who's also an ex-girlfriend from way back in the day, and she had said to me that she had a condolence card for me because my mother had passed away 4 months prior, and but she hadn't sent it out because she really didn't know what to say. And I said, if you sent me that card, it would be the only one I've gotten, because people don't do that anymore. There's a wall token over here, but now my camera's deciding to not want to focus on the damn thing again because my camera loves me so much. So I'm just going to plow through here, and hopefully we'll focus on, it's our hentai card. It makes tentacle tokens, and it's actually pretty good. But it's true, man. People don't do this. People didn't call me. People could have showed up in my house with a cup of coffee, and I would have been happy right after my mom passed away. But nothing. I got lots of my condolences on Facebook, but did any of these people who had my number, did they call me? They waited for me to call them. And the thing is, as more and more things happen to me, I was effectively spiraling into a depression. And the same people who post memes on Facebook about, always check in on your friends who are depressed, do you think any of them checked in on me? I barely heard from anybody. I was alone. If it wasn't for one friend of mine who's basically become my second room, who's basically become my roommate now. You know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have seen anybody unless I left my house and I had to, I was investing all my energy in getting my ass to work. 'Cause I work 6 days a week. I'm not a guy who just sits around doing nothing but opening packs of Magic cards. 'Cause believe me, if I could afford to do that, I could afford to open a lot more packs of Magic cards. But in all seriousness, you know, um, what are we doing? How are we treating each other? We're isolating ourselves, and we're almost happy to do it. And it's so bizarre because I never imagined that humans would ever be that way. Because we've always been so social, but all it took was the invention of the computer and a couple of programs, and all of a sudden we're turning into something that I don't think we were ever meant to be. And it scares me and it worries me. I don't post any of my social media links on here because I've pretty much left all social media. I'm actually deleting my Facebook account this weekend. I have a few people. There's our Illyrios card, and I think that the token looks very much similar to this. But I'll take a look at that in a little bit. This is in the foil pile, so now I'll get to keep it on the side. And there's Atris is kind of okay, I guess. Um, but yeah, I mean, we've lost the desire to really communicate with one another. And then as I'm going through all this and I'm posting things on Facebook and I'm talking, I was talking to people about the things I was going through, my feelings of isolation, my feelings of losing so much and being in so much pain. Uh, and saying that we need to fix these things as human beings, and maybe we need to treat each other better. I have friends of mine starting arguments with me on Facebook, and then people wonder why I have given up on social media, because social media is turning us into antisocial people, and we have to be very careful how it affects us as Magic players. Here, another hero, by the way, and Eshak's Erasure, which is a very, very nice spell. I'd be very happy to play that as well. Is that this behavior extends into the real world now, where people troll people in real life, and people who are trolls on social media expect to interact with people on social media and be trolling on social media, and and then interact with them in real life and expect in real life that I'm going to react positively to you. Just as a case in point, there's a certain individual, I'm not going to name a name, who goes to my LGS occasionally, who I thought was a pretty decent human being. We were, we smoked cigarettes outside the store, we BS and blah, blah, blah. It turns out the guy likes to post rape jokes on Facebook. And I called him out on it, and he responded by going on to my post on Facebook and posting rape jokes, and then insulting my friends and telling my friends things like that he would, chain this woman that I know to a radiator. Like, what the hell kind of things are you talking about on Facebook? But then he expects me to shake his hand in real life. He expects me to be his friend in real life. He expects me to want to coexist in the same space with him in real life. And the reality is, I know what kind of person he is. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it. And if I've seen it there, why would I not assume that this is what is in your heart? Why would I not assume that this is the kind of person that you think it's worthy to be? And why would I want to associate with somebody like that? I know a lot of people like that in my life. I really do. I know a lot of people who are just horrible, horrible human beings. I hate to say it, but it's true. And there's a possibility tonight that one of them may show up to my pre-release. And I've already told the store owner if one of them shows up, I'm dropping from the event. Wow. Wow. What amazing timing is I'm talking about something like super important and everything. The alternate art mythic Clothis. That is now I'm hoping I get a regular Clothis because that art is just something else. But this art is also just something else. Wow. Wow. That totally stopped my roll. I don't know if you noticed that. I noticed it as like right after I said, I was like, wow, I just like totally stopped dead and just went right into it. Like, oh wow. Like if this was foil, I think I might have fainted. But it's still pretty amazing. So there's your alternate art Clothis, everyone. So anyway, yeah. Um, so this one's I told them I said I will literally pick up my stuff, give my opponent the win, drop from the event, and go home if one of the two of them shows up. Because I don't want to be in the same space with them. I'm absolutely certain one of them's going to start. I'm absolutely certain if I hang around one of them long enough, he's going to start a fight with me, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be there. I would rather go somewhere else. And that's the thing. And it may come down to at some point not frequenting the game store that is literally 4 blocks from my house. But I'll tell you something. And again, we don't hold each other accountable for things. And I'll say we haven't for a very long time. No matter how much Nick's Lotus, by the way, very nice. No matter how much Wizards talks about inclusion and getting rid of negative influences and all this other stuff, when push comes to shove, I will tell you that the majority of store owners do not care what kind of people they are allowing into their stores. If those people are paying customers, they will allow them into their stores. Years ago, a kid he made a trade with a friend of mine and stole back one of the cards he traded to my friend while we were all in the store. We caught him. We told the store owner. The store owner refused to ban him. A group of us said, we will not continue to come to the store if you do not tell him that he cannot be here. His response was to tell the person, those guys only come here for F&M and pre-releases. You can't come here for F&M and pre-releases, but any other time you want to show up, no problem. Come by, hang out. Why? Because the guy was spending a lot of money. Turned out the guy was a creep overall. He ended up defrauding, I think, another card shop, not in my area. Dream Trawler, one of the better rares in the set, I think, especially for Commander. It will be when it focuses. It probably will be going into multiple decks of mine. So this guy was allowed to come back to the store, and when I told my LGS owner about the guy posting rape jokes on my wall, he just shrugged his shoulders. He's like, "I just brush it off." That's what I was told by a store owner. Okay, just brush it off. It shouldn't matter. It does matter. It's very important, especially in a game that's trying to enforce like some sort of standards of civility among its players. The problem is that once you get outside of the game store really can't do anything about it. I get it, but you know something? If people are telling you, "Yo, this person is not a good human being," maybe you should listen to them. Maybe they know something. Oh, let's look at the Illyrios. It's very similar. I mean, it's the same artist, so obviously it's probably. You know what I think it is? I think this is supposed to be the underwater one. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Good job, Kiriana. He actually did an artist proof for me once of Wild Rider, ironically enough. So if Kiriana ever watches this, remember me? Hey, I'm the guy you drew the Wild Rider for many, many years ago. Um, and there's another one, Tim, right? Um, so yeah, but this is my point. Like it's really stunning to me. You know, how callous we've allowed ourselves to become as a society, where to the point where uh dry to the Elysian Grove. If my friend Ravar, she's watching, I got one, but it's mine. I'm not mailing it out to you. Sorry. Wait till the price comes down. We'll get some. Don't worry about it. I'll hook you up. But but yeah, we've really lost touch with our humanity, and we have to get it back. And it's not for me to tell anybody how to do it. I know how I'm doing it for myself. And like I said, I'm getting off social media. So I'm going to have literally no advertising for my channel. And you know what? I'm actually not caring. I'm not doing this for the number of viewers. I'm doing this for myself and whoever feels like watching. I'm very thankful that you're here and watching and listening to all this. Because I mean, I'm sure this video is going to end up getting a lot of angry comments. But you know something? I'm going to say this right now to every person who has left an angry comment. You've probably watched this entire video so far. You will probably continue watching this video. You will watch it to its very end. Partly because you're enjoying watching PAX Theros Beyond Death open, and partly because you're enjoying how much you're hating me. And you know something? This is where we've gone wrong as a society. Um, also, is that we obsess over things that we hate. Why do we not just ignore the things we hate and pay attention to the things we love? And more importantly, honestly, the people we love. Because we should love people, first and foremost, not things. But we tend to love things much more than we love people. And it's sad. It's incredibly depressing and dehumanizing, and it's just another thing where I think we all need to take a step back at some point and say, you know what? Maybe we are doing something wrong. Maybe we could be different. We could be better. We can get back to things that we used to have that were good, and get rid of some of what we have that are bad. Uh, but it requires us to change, and that is the greatest hindrance to everything. People do not want change. And they want change. Sorry. What they don't want is to have to change themselves. They want everything else to change for them. And that's not correct either. Okay. What really needs to happen is people need to understand that we have to start having respect for each other again, because if we're losing respect for each other, we're losing our humanity. We're losing what it means to be a human. And I just want to note that the last rare I opened in that box is the first box is the first rare I opened in the second box. What are the odds? I'm sure somebody's going to let me know. I could probably figure it out, but I'm not doing it now on camera because it'll take me way too long. But yeah, we really need to start thinking about these things and do some introspection. Really think about your role in this, because the thing is, I'm going to admit, Shadowspear, by the way, very amazing equipment. Be looking forward to playing this in a lot of Commander decks. Um, I've been responsible. I've been responsible myself for a lot of this. So this isn't me just being a hypocrite and me saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. No, I've been responsible for it too. And you want to know what? I'm trying to better myself. I am trying to be a better person. I watch my words now when I speak to other people. I watch my words now when I write things on the internet. I am very, very careful with everything I say, because I know how things can be misinterpreted and warped and twisted and taken out of context. Another Timurit, very cool. So I'm being extra careful. I want to make sure that not only am I speaking clearly, but I'm speaking respectfully to people, no matter what they believe, no matter what they accept, and to learn to accept people for what they are. But that means accepting the good and the bad, and that means responding to the bad when they are bad. Okay, because if you don't respond to bad people when they're bad, what you're doing is you're saying, "Hey, it's okay to be bad." You know, it's okay to do this bad thing because we're not going to punish you for it. We're not going to hold you accountable for it. And we don't. We tend not to hold people accountable. We tend to forgive people like, oh, that's just him. Yeah, that's just him. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. And maybe we need to do something about it before he becomes a jerk to more people. Our first foil rare of the box already, Gravebreaker Lamia. Once again, early foil rare. And behind it was Bronze High Lion. So yeah, this is why I'm saying it's like when I see people behaving badly towards others, it's like they're behaving badly towards me. You know why? Remember that best friend I told you about who dissed me on as soon as she got on Facebook? She was a bitch to a lot of other people that we knew. She talked very negatively about a lot of people, and she still does. The last time I spoke to her was actually recently. Another foil Daxos. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And Thrix. I love that art. That is so cool. It's like Bernie Sanders, man. Yeah. Feel the burn, baby. Anyway, so forget about politics. That's as political as I'm gonna get today. But seriously, she talked a lot of negative things about a lot of people, and I forgave her over the years. Oh, that's just the way she is. Oh, and I was like, well, she hasn't done it to me. Yeah, she hadn't done it to me until she did it to me, and when she did it to me, man, it felt like crap. And then I realized I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I should have seen this coming. And that's the thing. If somebody behaves a certain way towards somebody they know, someday they may behave that way towards you. So when you see people behaving poorly towards someone, we finally got Achilles. I mean Hactos. When you see somebody behaving badly towards somebody else that you know, or even somebody else that you don't know, think about one day they may be behaving that way towards you. And when you're on that end of it, are you going to appreciate it? Are you going to be as appreciative of it as you are when they're doing it to other people? I don't think so. I think you're going to find it's very unappreciated. So we need to really start using our brains a little bit and thinking before we speak to people. And before we speak in general. Because you never know who's going to be upset by what you say. And you know something? If you do say something that upsets somebody, do you know what you do? You apologize. You don't dig your heels in and go, oh, well, I have a right to be offensive. That's the most bullshit statement I've ever heard in my life. I have the right to be offensive. Yeah, and I have the right to be fucking respected. Our triple guy, we finally have a triple in Magic, and it's an Explanation. So we finally got him. Excellent. First Mythic of the box. So yeah, but this is the attitude that people take. It's my right to be offensive, and you have no right to be offended. No, I do have a right to be offended. I have a right to feel whatever I feel, and you have no right to tell me that I cannot feel a specific way because you feel I shouldn't. We have to learn to respect one another again. We have to learn to treat each other with kindness. Not with anger, not with hatred, not with derision, not with any negative emotions. I deactivated my Facebook account. I thought I deactivated it indefinitely, but they put me back on after a week So I went back on for this week to make sure I tie up a few loose ends, and then I was going to delete. I'm going to delete my account. Uh, but that week that I was gone, my life was instantly better. Like there was no negativity in my life. I shut off the news and I shut off Facebook and all my social media accounts, and suddenly everything was right with the world. You know, my anxiety was lowered. My mood was elevating. Even though like I spent a lot of time reading, and I was reading the United States Army's report on the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know, I'm a math and science geek. What can I tell you? But like that's what I was doing. I was reading that. Oh, we got our first blue demigod. So very cool there. Um, and like I said, like I felt like just this weight was lifted off my body, and it was amazing. And I don't understand why people would want to continue feeling that other way when they could feel the way that I've been feeling without this. Gathasa, Gathasa, Wanathasa, Gathasa. We're pretty good. Happy. Yeah, I would have liked foil Thassa, but regular Thassa is good. Not going to complain. so, so yeah. So you get what I'm saying. We really need to think about how we really treat each other, because the way we're doing it right now, just it's destroying us, and it's destroying us in ways that we can never appreciate until it actually happens to us, I think. But when it happens, it's brutal. Um, and it's not something I would wish on anyone. And that's why I want to talk about these things. That's why I want to have conversations with people about maybe finding different ways to do things to help better people's lives instead of making them harder. Easing the burdens on others instead of increasing them. Finally got this card, Allure of the Unknown. I don't think I'm ever going to play this in Commander, just FYI, but it seems pretty funny. So I'm taking the time to be introspective in my own personal life and to try to find some way to try to find ways in which I'm going to better myself to move past that kind of behavior in my own life, and I'm trying. And it's difficult because I'm coming out of a depression right now to do it, but I'm still trying. And that's what I'm saying. People need to try. You know, it doesn't require perfection. Just pick up the phone and call somebody. You know, just whoa, holy crap. Just be there for people. That's all you can do. Our third mythic in the box is another blue mythic, Your Best the Sea God. This artwork, by the way, is absolutely stunning. I've seen a larger version of it, and it's just beautiful. It really is. And so yeah, so that's the predominant bit about what I wanted to say. You know, stop hiding behind your rights to be offensive or whatever is as an excuse. There is no excuse. Just be a good person. Be kind to others. Be considerate. You know, let people live their lives. If it's not directly causing you pain, let people be. And let people enjoy the things they want to enjoy. And if you dislike something, maybe be quiet about it once in a while. You don't have to tell everybody when you disapprove of something that they do or something that they like. And again, something I've been guilty of in the past that I'm trying to be better on. I don't want to just be that guy who's always dissing people over things because they don't like the same things he does. But that's what a lot of people do, and that's bad. It's extra negativity, and sometimes, man, you don't know what other people are going through. They don't necessarily need that extra negativity in their lives. They really don't. It's not fair to them, and then it ruins your relationship with them, and you're ruining your relationship with somebody else. Yes, one of my alternate win con possibilities. I am liking Thassa's Oracle. Definitely gonna be playing this. Um, Probably in a few decks. So yeah, let's just all maybe take a step back in our lives and think about how we can maybe be better to the people in our world, and how we can do things better and be less negative. Should have mentioned that we just pulled Cerebus, but I think I had one in the other. I'm not even paying attention to a lot of the cards I'm opening because this is something, like I said, as you can tell, I really felt strongly about this a lot, and not just super recently, but for a while now. And our first foil landing, God, that is beautiful. Let me see if I can catch some shinies from the light. Ah, yeah, you see a few in there. Very nice. Very, very pretty. And of course, I got the foil island, of course. Um, but yeah, so that's the story. I don't want to really talk about this anymore. I mean, we're heading into the home stretch, and I do have to hurry up tonight. I have to get ready to go to work because I have to work today before the pre-release. So it's a thing. But yeah, the pre-release was on my mind. Talking to the store owner last night was on my mind because like I'm fully expecting tonight to go there and take my pack and go home. If I even take my pack. I might just end up going home because I fully expect a second foil rare in the box. Atris, very cool. I think he was the rare in the pack with one of my other rare foils. But I'm fully expecting one of two people who I have such a strong dislike for that I can't begin to put into words. One of them I spoke about. The other one I won't speak about. Um, but one of the two of them is going to show up tonight, and I'm absolutely certain that I'm just going to walk out of the store and not even participate. So, and like I said, I've already told the store owner. I said I'm not expecting you to do anything different because you're not gonna, you know, and it's the truth. Like I said, store owners are out to make money. Their dollars are just as good as your dollars. If you come anyway, but just don't come when a certain person is there. Another actress, I think I have four now. Um, it doesn't matter to them. Profit is profit, and they're not going to turn it down ever. And like I said, that's something that Wizards is never going to be able to do anything about it because they would literally have to like send an agent to every single store that operates in their network, and that agent would have to be there literally every hour of the store's operation. It's not going to happen. Oh, I got all five of the demigods in alternate art now. Very nice. Um, so this is a thing that we're going to be putting up with as the future goes on, and it may be helpful because you can't force other people off social media. It may be helpful for yourself to just step away and get away from the negativity that everybody brings to the table, and reconnect with things that we used to do in the past that were not bad things. Oh my God! Woo! Full art Elspeth. Nice way to close out this video. Full art Elspeth. That's beautiful. Love Chuck Lukacs art. Just amazing. Wow. I totally forgot I had the chance to pull one of these. Yeah. All right. So last couple of packs here. Let's just bust through them. I don't expect much more. Like I'm hoping I just get one more mythic, like for 5 mythics in the box, but 4 mythics is fine. I opened 2 special ones, so that's good. I got my second Dolichos, who's also pretty decent in Commander. He's going to be amazing in Commander. Um, but yeah, so Goat Forest. Oh, there's Mythic number 5, Oxyvogonus. Pretty good card. Don't know if I'm gonna ever play it in Commander, but seems like made for definitely made for limited, probably standard also. So just let's what is it? Three more packs, and then I guess get ready to go to work. Yay! Woo! Tectonic Giant. Got a couple of those. Got one of those already. It was like I think it was like the first rare I opened up because I remember talking about it. Thank you all for watching today. Uh, Thank you all for spending this hour listening to me ramble about the state of humanity right now and how disappointing it is. There's number 4 enigmatic incarnation. Congratulations. I hope you subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for the notifications because I tend to do these live events kind of on surprise or on relatively short notice. So, yeah, that's the deal. I hope everybody has a great day. I got my second Nyx Lotus. Hope I have a great day. Peace and be well, humans. I'll be back sometime in the future. Peace.